Hello, Earth Angels, and welcome back to another episode of Alignment Academy. It is your host, Kristen, and if you're new here, welcome to Alignment Academy, a school for your soul, a place where we learn how to be our higher selves, evolve, heal, so that we can step into our soul's purpose, become confident AF, and truly have whatever we desire in this lifetime. If you have just come across me, I've been on my spiritual journey since I was 17 years old. I've always had a very strong intuition, a very big call to just do something big with my life. I've also felt very connected to God for most of my life in certain ways, but I think the most in this time of my life. And yeah, I just am here to help be a guiding light to help you find your truth, find your connection to source, and really create a connection for yourself so that you can do whatever it is you're here to do in this lifetime. Typically, people who find my podcast, it's never an accident. So know that you are here on purpose and you are a light worker. You have a big mission. I mean, you literally just wouldn't vibrationally be here if you weren't. So trust that, trust your path, trust your soul, all that good stuff. You know, something that I've been thinking about a lot, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know, on Sundays I go to the Self-Realization Temple here in San Diego, and it is this teaching by Paramahansa Yogananda. If you guys do not know whatever I'm talking about, just stick with me. He wrote this book called Autobiography of a Yogi, and he also created the Self-Realization Fellowship. It's like this spiritual church. Their whole thing is teaching people the scientific and spiritual tools of meditation to create a direct personal relationship with God. And I've just been really loving having a committed time where I get to go and be with God, for lack of a better word. And I thought I would just start today by talking about something that I've been realizing in these services and realizing about what I've been learning, because I always take very, very detailed notes when I go. I really use it for my spiritual school and to evolve and grow so that I can help you guys evolve and grow. But the more that I've really been thinking about it, I always feel the best during the week when I go to the service, and whenever I skip because I'm too tired or something, it's like I just feel less connected to my mission. And I realize that it's because when I'm there, it's like I have that deeper devotion that I'm rooting into. And I've been thinking about this word devotion and what it means to be devoted to my mission. And the definition I use for devotion is love plus commitment. It's deeper commitment because it's like, when you're devoted to something, you can just feel the frequency of how that's different. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really being in love. It's really having this deeper why that is connected to your soul of why you're doing something. And I think that sometimes when we're trying to do something like follow our soul's purpose or post on Instagram or do all of these things that feel very 3D, we can be too zoomed in on our life. It truly can just be hard to zoom out and see that there's a bigger picture. And I think that that's what devotion does. It takes you from zoomed in to zoomed out and be like, wow, these people that are judging me or this Instagram post, it's not that deep. You know what I mean? It's not that deep. And when you realize it's not that deep, you can just do what needs to be done to serve. You can do what needs to be done for your mission. You can do what needs to be done because you're just in devotion. And so today I really want to talk about how to be in devotion. And I think it does start with having that connection to something bigger than yourself. I don't know how else to say it, but you have to be connected to something bigger than you. And I can't recommend enough having some sort of teacher, guru, spiritual mentor that is going to help you root back into God. I don't care if it's Christianity. I don't care if you're using the Bible. I don't care if you start, learning from Yogananda and start reading the book. It's like you have to have a sacred time. You don't have to, but I think it's helpful to have a sacred time where you sit with God and you commit to going inward. Today's episode is brought to you by Alignment Academy, the membership. I created this membership to offer a crazy affordable and safe space for you to heal your deepest wounds, build unshakable confidence, and activate your highest timeline. Imagine being surrounded by a community that truly gets you and not feeling freaking crazy or like you're knocked off your path by trigger after trigger after trigger. Because believe me, I've been there. In order to actually heal, you kind of got to sit your booty down and do the freaking work to actually reprogram your subconscious mind and create higher self-worth through your actions. When you enroll in Alignment Academy, you're going to gain access to an extensive library of 7 past masterclasses, 6 of my best-selling meditations, along with a new monthly masterclass to help you guys transform, grow, and actually take action towards your goals. Every month, we also have live inner work meditations led by me with topics such as inner child work, shadow work, future visioning, playing in the quantum field, and so much more. And if you're wondering, where the heck is my soul family and why is the spiritual journey so lonely? I'm telling you, they're inside of Alignment Academy. Everyone in there is truly a special frequency. We're all talking about Joe Dispenza meditations. We're talking about entrepreneurship, trailblazing our own path, healing our inner child wounds, shadow work, how to set empowering boundaries. It's such a high vibe conversation, and I can't wait for you to experience it yourself. If you were to buy a live coaching call with me, plus all the masterclasses, plus all the meditations just as one-off things, it would be over $5,000. And I'm offering this all to you for $77 per month. I am calling in people who are here for the long haul and really trying to do the healing work. But if you don't like it, you can cancel anytime. If you're interested in joining us, you can enroll with the link below, and I can't wait to see you inside. The other thing that I was realizing is one thing that they teach us at the SRF Self-Realization Fellowship is, okay, so I'm just going to read some of my notes that I wrote, but I'll go further on them. The purpose of this delusion is to make us forget who we really are, right? Who we really are is this is source itself. It's this connection to the divine. And I think that the reason I've always been so drawn to meditation is because it helps us remember. Because this next thing that says, it is in meditation we perceive the oneness with God. And you guys know I've been doing inner child work for years and years and years, 8 to 10 years consistently. I've been also very into Joe Dispenza work in the last couple years. Typically, I'm in meditation anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour a day. And I just love remembering what my true soul feels like. It is in that time with my soul when I close my eyes and remember that this is all a dream that I actually just feel so close to myself. And so they say, I'm just going to read my notes. So it's like I'm saying these things, but they're not really, some of them are not mine. It says the person who finds God owns the cosmos. And it's because when you find God and you realize you are God, you can do anything that you desire. You're able to fulfill your highest potential, and you kind of have like a one up. You know the rules of this game. You know that this is an illusion. You know that this is just a dream. And so if you have been feeling disconnected from your heart, from your soul, from your mission, I invite you to, go into deeper devotion to your soul, go into more meditation, learn from a guru so you can remember. And I used to think the word guru was so bad, honestly, because new age spirituality, which honestly I hate, kind of says like, you don't need a guru, you are your guru, all that stuff. But from learning from the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, they actually honor many gurus there. They say Jesus Christ, Paramahansa Yogananda, Swami Shiva Teshwar. They name all of the saints that they they work with in this church. And something that I love about it is that they teach like your guru is close to God, and the way that you get close to God is by learning from someone who already is, right? And so it's really been bringing back this like idea of mentorship, and it doesn't have to be with a mentor like me. It can literally be with a mentor that is passed over. Like Paramahansa Yogananda died many years ago, but his legacy lives on and people still call on him. They still learn from him. They use his teachings. They use his books. I mean, he's created a whole freaking fellowship. Yeah, it's really, really cool. So meditation is just really, really good to remember your connection and feel more connected to yourself. They say meditation is making an effort to remember our true nature. And one thing that they always say is like, when you lay your head down at night, ask yourself, how many times have I remembered God today? How many times have I brought God to my thoughts? And that's been something I've been practicing doing, is like, if I'm on a call, how can I ask God to help me? Like if I'm doing something, if I'm eating my food, like asking God to bless my food, or asking whoever I'm working with, whether it's Mary Magdalene or Mother Mary or my angels of activation, like please bless this food, whatever it is. It's like really just remembering that there's a higher power, and just remembering the illusion more often. Not only does it help you live life to the fullest, but it helps helps you take life less seriously, because at the end of the day, this life is not that serious. It just feels that way. When I was in deep meditation this week at the service, the service basically they begin and then we all go into about a 15-minute silent meditation where we connect with God, and they teach us how to do it. Like we learn how to just sit with God, and then we learn how to send God our love and ask God to love us back, and how to get closer to God through our meditation practice. And I was just like sitting in silent meditation, and I've done this a million times because of Joe Dispenza. There's lots of meditation that we practice with him and just kind of go into the void. So my brain can do it pretty easily, but something that just kind of came through when I was thinking about my mission in this meditation is, excitement plus resistance equals your highest timeline. And so what I really want to say with that is, a lot of people that listen to this podcast, they know they're here for big things. They know that they have a huge mission in this lifetime, but they have resistance. But when you have excitement with that resistance, there's something there for you to transmute. It means that it is the right path. There's just something for you to overcome or become in order to hold that bigger mission. So wherever you're feeling a little bit resistance, whether it's starting your business or making an investment or doing something, you have to learn how to follow the call and the pull of your heart and transmute the resistance, which is also what I teach, within inner child work or shadow work, or it's just learning how to do that. Yeah, it's really powerful to use meditation as a way to stay in devotion to your true soul and who you truly are here to be. I'm going to read this thing that I wrote down from my notes too. They were talking about serving other people in life, and not just in these big ways like making this podcast, but even like helping somebody on the street or buying a homeless person a piece of bread or whatever it is. It says, serving other people is worshiping God on the altar of our hearts. And so even with me, sometimes I don't feel like posting, or sometimes I don't feel like doing the things that need to be done in my business, but I just think of it as, this is my service. This is my legacy. I always keep that bigger picture in mind. And so if you're working on your business and it's hard to get a post up, or it's hard to keep promoting your services, instead of zooming in so much where you're I need to make a sale and I need to make money, reframe it of, how can I serve God through this business? How can I help one person that's going to change their life? And that's really, really, really going to help you. It's going to help you stay rooted into the bigger picture, which I think that we're just always so zoomed in. So the gurus at this place too are really funny. They make a lot of jokes. And one of the funny things that they said is your soul might be thinking, wow, this is a lot of work to get close to God. I got to go into meditation and go to my vocation and do this and do that and do that. And he said, it's not all work and effort throughout eternity. When you actually get closer to God, you have an everlasting pension of peace. And I thought that was funny. It's the closer you get to the oneness, the further away all of this pain and the separation and the resistance gets. And so I thought that was cool. Wow, when you put your time in, it's never a waste of time to open your heart. It's never a waste of time to sit with God, to sit with your soul, to get rooted into your mission. And if you're having trouble staying connected to your mission, something that I do, that I teach my clients, is I imagine the consciousness of my business like this beautiful ball out in front of me, and I connect my heart to the heart of my business. I just put my heart cord into this beautiful ball of energy, and I just say I want to be rooted in you. I want to feel you. Help me, guide me, lead me, whatever is for your best and most good. Please just lead the way. I will get out of the way. And that's the thing about our business and our soul's purpose, is it knows how to be successful. It knows the path of least resistance, but it's typically our human self that's in the way, right? Our limiting beliefs, our, oh, this isn't working, our overthinking of just doing what needs to be done. So much of the time, our business is alive. It knows how to get, it's like the intelligence of our fingernails. It knows how to grow. It knows how to find the people to work with it. But it's our human that has so much trauma, so much resistance, so much just stuff that it's just getting in the way and it's gunk. And so what I want to say is that, where can you do the human work? Where can you release your trauma, do your inner child, do your shadow, so you can get out of the way so your business can thrive? Because thriving and success is actually your true nature. It's just, again, all the trauma, the density that really gets in the way. I am quickly interrupting this episode to remind you guys that if you're a listener, which clearly you are, I have created a free meditation for all of you. This meditation was built out of my rock bottom when I needed to trust the universe and release a lot of anxiety I was feeling, and I didn't know how. So I learned how to trust the universe, and I'm going to teach you how in this meditation, it's really practicing this feeling of being held and supported and remembering that you actually are held and supported by the universe in every single moment. All you have to do to get this meditation is to rate and review the podcast on whatever platform you're listening on, and then go ahead and head over to my podcast Instagram at Alignment Academy Podcast, give it a follow, and then message me on there with a screenshot of your rating or review, whatever platform you're listening on, and I will send you the meditation. Okay, now back to the episode. The last thing that I really thought was kind of cool that they touched on in one of the sermons was they were talking about free will and destiny. And they were saying how we were actually talking about the law of karma. And they were talking about how people are like, do you have destiny or do you have free will? And they said both. It says, before you act, you have freedom. And I think that it's funny because before you act, you have that choice point. But if you're not conscious that you have that choice point, you're just going to be run by your subconscious mind. And this is where I think it's so cool where the subconscious work comes in, because you don't have freedom if you don't look at your subconscious programming. I want you to really think about that. If you're just operating by your inner child wounds and your subconscious programming, you are going to think that everything is fate and you're just doomed. But the moment you realize that you have a say over your destiny, the moment you realize, wow, I can change these beliefs that I've been given, I can change myself, I can change the actions that I'm going to take, that's when you start to create your reality, and that's when you start to change destiny. Truly. That's why I'm so obsessed with inner child healing, because you learn how to be a creator. But you can't become a creator if you're just letting your subconscious programming run the show and you lash out and you do all these things. It's just like you're going to just be run by your subconscious beliefs and what's just basically running through you. I know I'm just like reading my notes, but I think that there's just some really good nuggets in here. And I think that hopefully, let me know guys, but I think that you're going to get a lot from just me reading some of these notes that I took from the service. This one says, when you identify with your body, you lose paradise. And the goal is to be calm no matter what happens. That's when you really, like when you're remembering that this is an illusion, you can just be calm and just be like, I know I'm going to be okay. I know I'm going to pass. I know God is with me and I am God and God is me. And I'm going to be free that way. I'm going to be free by remembering the illusion of this. Oh, the other thing that I really love that they said is they were talking about trusting the divine hand and knowing like I am at the right place at the right moment without resisting. And the analogy that they gave is like, sometimes we're like, how do I know this is going to happen? And how do I know that's going to happen? And how do I make shit happen? But it's like trusting that God still has a hand in your life. And the analogy that they gave is like, when a cat has a kitten, the cat will like carry the kitten and place it in different places wherever the cat is. And the kitten just like is content there and like believes it's in the right place. And that's how God wants us to be towards God, is like believing that wherever we're placed, we're in that right place. We're in that perfect spot to fulfill our potential and know that there is no accidents and there is this like divine hand that is at play in your life, and nothing that's for you will ever miss you. And this was actually a really good moment for me because I had realized that I was acting out of scarcity sometimes, like in my social life, where I was like having FOMO or like fear of missing out. And I've already told you guys I've been having a really busy summer, but I'm feeling called to like pull my energy back into me and get really rooted into my mission and really just get focused with my work again. I'm just craving a really nice fall focus season. And I have to trust that wherever I am, it's the perfect place. And there's so much to do all the time here, but I have to just do me sometimes. And that analogy just really, really helped me. The other thing that they said is like, if you're in stress, like just go to sleep. So that was cute. The last thing that I'm going to share is actually something that came to me. This is not something I learned in the sermon, but I tend to have a lot of downloads, a lot of just like things that God wants me to talk about when I am going to service. But something that I was talking to my friend about after we went to service, and then we went and got a coffee, and we were talking a lot about soul versus human fulfillment and how it can be really easy to be super fulfilled as your human, because your human wants like this instant gratification. It wants to have fun. It wants to be free. But our soul has another agenda. And sometimes our soul requires us to have more discipline, and our soul requires us to have more devotion and more inward time. Right. And I was telling her like, my life is so fun right now, but I'm feeling a little lack of soul fulfillment. And it was because I wasn't as rooted into my purpose as I have been in the past. I'm getting back there, but I was just having a very free season where I was surfing a lot. I was having so much fun, and you guys saw me do that, but I'm just ready to root back in. And I realized like, wow, you can feel like fulfilled in your human life. Like I was having so much fun and I was like really wanting to be in all those places, but my soul was like, no, Kristen, like you're here to do big things. We have to get settled again. You have to get rooted back again. So, separating your human versus soul fulfillment, like this is kind of a macro level in my life, but I remember that I've had a lot of micro moments of this as well when I was first starting my business, like moments where I wanted to go out and drink with my friends, but realistically, if I wanted to grow this business, I needed to be up really early the next day and work on it before I went to my other job, right? Things like that, where it's like my soul fulfillment had to take precedent over my human fulfillment. And so for you, where can you recognize where maybe your human is fulfilled by getting that instant gratification or getting that hit of dopamine by scrolling versus posting online, or scrolling versus working on your business, but your soul is unfulfilled? When we can start to separate the two, we can start to take the actions that need to be taken in order to actually do what needs to be done, and get that deeper soul fulfillment and feel in true alignment. Remember, alignment looks like misalignment at first. Always. Alignment is feeling like your soul is on the train tracks, like you're going where you're meant to go, like you're fulfilled and you're just like, this is it. That's what it feels like. It's like, this is it. And a lot of times alignment is first, again, disguised as misalignment. When you're miserable at your job and you're like, like this is so bad, I'm so misaligned in life, but like that tension is happening because it's bringing you into greater alignment in your life so you can follow your soul's purpose, so you can leave that job. But our humans, they just don't listen sometimes. They don't, no, that's not logical. It doesn't make sense. Well, it's not supposed to make sense. It's alignment. It's not logical. It's intuition. Even the blood cells in our body, when your body is sick, your body attacks itself. It attacks those sick blood cells to make them well again. And if you zoom in on that and you say, look, my body's attacking itself, it looks like misalignment, but then you wait some time, you let it do its thing, and then it's alignment. Your body's in harmony. It's in peace. So whatever you're going through in life, just remember that this is a greater level of alignment coming. Whatever misalignment's happening, it's a greater level of alignment on the horizon. Okay, last thing. This is something I wrote too. Yeah, I get so many downloads during these sessions. It's like crazy. And I just have to write. Like, oh, I gotta talk about this. I gotta talk about this. I gotta talk about this. And now I'm just talking about it in a random podcast episode. LOL. One thing I want to say about fear is I deal with a lot of people working through fear. Fear of investing, fear of starting their business, fear of failing, fear of success. And our brain tends to think that the next move we make is going to be the most permanent move. It's going to be, we can't change things after that. But what I want to remind you is that nothing is permanent. If you don't like being an entrepreneur, whatever you're going to go do, you can go back to your corporate job. Honestly, you can probably get the same exact job that you're at now. If you make an investment and you lose a couple $1,000s, guess what? You'll make more. You'll make more and you'll forget about it eventually and it won't be a big deal. I've done it so many times. I forget about that money. I don't even know. It's like our brains think that if we mess up, it's the end of the world, and things are always in flux. They're always changing. And that's just the natural rhythm of life. And so we have to let go. We have to let go and just allow and not think everything is so deep, because it's not, and life goes on and we're allowed to fail and nothing bad is going to happen. We're always going to get back to where we need to be. So all that to say, I hope this gave you guys some inspiration. I hope you feel inspired to do what needs to be done in your life, in your business, in your purpose. Stay devoted, close your eyes and remember the illusion. And yeah, just feel connected to who you are. I love you guys so much. This is my heart and soul. I feel like I just was really able to connect in today and share a message that was coming from me. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening every week. If this is something that you know your friend would benefit from, please send it to them. That's like the best way that this podcast grows, is just by word of mouth and sharing it even on your Instagram or anything. So I just really love you. Thank you. And I will talk to you very soon. Bye.